Make a difference. Change the world. Shine a light. These cliche phrases often surface in our everyday lives, along with motivational quotes like the one from Gandhi that says, "Be the change that you wish to see in the world." Sometimes, as a teenager, it seems impossible to do anything that will have real impact. We get that nagging voice in our head saying, "You can't do it, you're too young, no one will ever listen to you." I have heard that voice, and foolishly enough, believed it. That belief reflected in my life and held me back from being active about things that I believed in. Several years ago at my school, it was brought to my attention that students could have the opportunity to speak to young women and men going into abortion clinics, hold up signs to get people thinking, or give out personal gift bags with a handwritten note, information on other options, and baby socks. From the first announcement I heard about it, I wanted to go. I knew abortion was wrong, but most importantly, I wanted to do something about it. I wanted to make a difference, to change the world, to shine my light. Talking to girls just a few years older than me and being a witness of hope for a beautiful future with their baby seemed like a tangible way for me to make a difference. There was only one small problem that stopped me from going every other Saturday to talk to those people who so desperately needed a ray of hope, and that was fear. Fear that I was too young and inexperienced about life to make an impact, fear that no one would listen to me, and fear that if I was actually listened to, I would say the wrong things without understanding what those women were going through. So I hesitated and waited until finally one Saturday, a friend convinced me to go. I shyly held a sign on the street instead of being a counselor and actually talking to people, which was where I knew my heart was leading me. But being there was enough. Hundreds of people passed by the signs a few of us were holding. Several gift bags were handed out, and afterwards, the counselors told us stories of their encounters with women who were going inside the abortion clinic. Many of the young girls contemplating abortions had the same problem I did: fear. Fear that they were too inexperienced to be mothers, fear that their boyfriends would leave them, fear that they were too young, fear of what people would think when they saw a young girl with a baby. Once I realized that and heard stories of women who decided to keep their babies, I forgot about my fear and decided to be courageous, like the girls who stood up to their boyfriends and kept their children, or like the guy who stayed with his girlfriend despite the uncertainties ahead. There comes a point in our lives when we are faced with the challenge to step out and testify for our faith. It's up to us what we decide to do, how we decide to make our mark. Will we live in fear that we are inadequate for the task presented to us, or will we be a witness for what we know is right, disregarding all risks and accepting all consequences? As Whitaker Chambers said, a man is not primarily a witness against something. That is only incidental to the fact that he is a witness for something. A witness, in the sense that I am using the word, is a man whose life and faith are so completely one that when the challenge comes to step out and testify for his faith, he does so, disregarding all risks, accepting all consequences. As young people, adults, or even grandparents, we are presented with the challenge of how we want to change the world, of how we shine our light, of how we make a difference. So I challenge you, be the change that you wish to see in the world. Don't live in fear of being too young, too old, too inexperienced, too shy, or too small. We have a great God who is bigger than our fears. People around us need witnesses in their lives, so I urge you, be a witness for life. Thank you.